Hello, everybody. Welcome to Doodle and Chat with Friends. This is I think we're on episode 11. I usually get those things wrong, but I think I'm probably right today. I am Carrie Baughcum.
And I am Mandi Tolen.
And we are crazy excited to have one of our OG Doodle and Chatters with us, Amy DeFriese, for Doodle and Chat with Friends, where some doodling and some chatting mixed to create a whole lot of who knows what kind of fun every time we get together. And we have Valerie here with us too. She's jumping in here in the comments. Yay. Welcome, Valerie.
All right, so let me introduce our guest tonight. So as Carrie said, she is one of our Saturday morning Doodle and Chat OG, and she lives in California. She's a California girl. Anaheim, California is her hometown, which she currently lives in as well, which I think is really cool. And she graduated from Esperanza High School. I did look to see if there were any like famous people from there, and they weren't famous enough because I didn't know who they were. But you do know famous people from there, just so you know. I just didn't know who they were. So she's currently a high school teacher at Buena Vista Virtual Academy, where she runs the hybrid program for high school. She also has her master's degree in educational technology. We share that, which I think is cool. Living in the city that has Disneyland, she has the expected or maybe required love of Disney. She also enjoys cooking, the theater, and spending time with her niece and nephew. So I'm excited to welcome our friend Amy DeFriese to Doodle and Chat with Friends tonight.
Yay! Thank you for having me.
This is so fun. We're so excited. The bowl that knows is stocked with everything Amy tonight, as well as some fun questions. And as I was adding them, I was also chatting with you guys. So I might have added 4 and I might have added 5. I don't know. I can't remember how many extra questions I added for fun. So it's going to be extra fun today.
Woo-woo! Oh my gosh, you guys like former students in the chat. Like I'm excited.
Hey, thank you.
I want to say hi. I don't know how to type in the chat on.
You can say hi to them and they can hear
you. Yay!
I was wondering, I'm like, Mrs. DeFriese. I'm like,
no, it's Ms. But you know how students are. You get married off as soon as you become a teacher.
Absolutely. I wonder if that's a student, you know?
I just roll with it.
Of course. All right, so we hope you brought your paper and pen. We know you love to draw.
Yeah,
we have hours. We're going to turn our cameras around and get our papers, or I'm going to get my paper ready. Mandy's ready with some cute little profiles already on hers. There we go. It's a little dark. Let's see if I can get some light on this. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I don't want you guys to see my armpit.
As we always say, you got some armpits because we're keeping it classy.
We are keeping it classy.
Doodle and Chat.
Except for this shirt is well loved, so I don't want you to see this armpit. It's fine. It's the armpit that I don't want you to see. If I'm being honest, keeping it real.
I'm like making room.
And we have Taylor here. I think Taylor's new to Doodle and Chat.
Taylor! I work with Taylor. Taylor is a new teacher, and she's an art teacher, and she just got like an official art job at one of our middle schools. Welcome! Yay! I'm so excited you're here. She totally wants to learn more about like doodling and chatting and how she can integrate the classroom. So excited. Hi, Kimberly. I'm so glad you're here. Both Kimberlys. And Carla. Hey. Oh, you get married. Right? They do. They married you off.
No, Kimberly, the first prompt is not my armpit. Thank you very much.
Oh.
That could be another episode. Draw this armpit as a drawing. That would just be really weird. So many friends here today. This is awesome. Regina,
hi. She's in SoCal too. So yay.
Georgina is?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We got a lot of OG Doodle and Chatters here tonight with us, so that's fun.
Yes.
see everybody here. We get to have some fun talking all about Amy. So
whoop, whoop.
So excited. All right, I'm going to pull from the bullet notes. Let's see what it wants us to start talking about tonight.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, we're going for family first.
Okay.
What would your parents say was the best part of raising you, Katie, and Holly?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
So I come up from a family of 3 girls as well.
Nice. Now, are you the oldest, middle? Where are you at in the
I'm
lineup?
the oldest.
Me too. We have that in common, right? So you're expected to like do everything like,
right.
Set the standard, be perfection.
Break them in, get in all the trouble first, so that you make it easier for everybody else.
That doesn't change when there's just 2 of you, because I'm the oldest of 2, and it's still the same.
What was the most fun, or what was it? What about
what was the best part? So your parents have also been married for, are we going on close to 50 years now, or
forever? They're somewhere in their 40s, like the 40s years together or something. I don't know. I know it was a lot. As far as fun, like, I don't know. I really don't know what they say was fun. I think what's fun now is that my entire family lives very close, and like at one point we were all living within of each other, and so.
Uh-oh, we'll give her a second. Can you repeat what you said, Amy?
Yeah. It's like we can all still get along, that kind of thing. Like because we live close by. So we still see each other. And so we still like each other enough to make it a point to have close relationships.
That's nice. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So that's good. Yay, Georgina. You're the oldest of 3 too. Woo woo. Oh, Kimberly's in the middle. How is that? That's got to be a little rough.
So the middle always seem to say. I would argue, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's just funny because like my middle sister is very much like she was so good. She's so good at everything that she does, and then the youngest one was like the instigator. The middle is the best, Valerie. Cool. Well, that's good. I'm glad you like being in the middle. Only girl. Oh, see, yeah, it is. It's a different dynamic, right? When it's all girls.
For sure.
And then like when there's a mix up. And I see that with my sister's kids because she has 1 girl, 2 boys. And so that is definitely a different dynamic. Different interests. Oh, and Kimberly's the oldest too. Woo woo.
Had a lot of oldest children in the house tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The data person in me wonders if you looked at the oldest person or the oldest sibling compared to others, what percent of them like to doodle?
Oh, I did not know. I wonder.
Me too.
I don't think my middle sister enjoys drawing. I don't know. I know my youngest does.
Yeah, and for me, a sister has that art streak, and then my youngest sister not so much. It's not her thing, but it's her kids' thing, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, because as you know, they like I would have the oldest two, like they doodle and chat.
Yes, they would join you often, especially when we were all quarantined.
Yes.
There was
yes. We set up the folding chair in the living room and got out all the things. Like I invest in these little puppies that zip up and that you have them out, and like the mugs would just boom, throw in all the pens, like all the things.
Awesome.
Really
That's so fun.
Oh, Kimberly, I'm glad you enjoyed hearing my laugh. Kimberly and I were in, what was it, the 4 o'clock faculty Voxer group,
Okay.
but it kind of like fizzled, you know, as you were mentioning, Carrie, with like, you know, the pandemic and quarantine and all like that. It's like you can only handle so much, you know, and sometimes those little extracurriculars turn into be just a little too much.
I think that's I think that's a frequent thing that a lot of people are experiencing of like, you know, this is what I can handle and this is what has to go, unfortunately, sometimes, I think, lately.
But I do love that particular app because you can like hear people's voices. So I always prefer that because then, you know how like text can be somewhat misleading because you don't hear the tone of their voice, that kind of thing. So I'm like, oh, here, I understand what you're saying or what you mean.
Yeah, and that community in particular has come up more than once on this, even on Doodle and Chat before too.
Yeah, totally. Like Dawn was here. You guys had Dawn. That was exciting.
Yep. So fun. I think I'm going to pull another question while Mandy's mid-draw.
Nope,
Okay.
you're fine. Keep going.
Got some siblings there.
Yep.
All right. We are going all Amy's right now. The bowl.
Okay.
Chartreutery boards, if I said that right, are all the rage right now. Tell us the ingredients and layout of a great charcuterie board.
Lots of cheese. A variety.
What are your favorite cheeses to go with?
What do I like the best? I like Parmesan with a little honey drizzle, but not too much of it. I don't know. Any kind of like a soft cheese with a jam, some kind of a jam, usually like a fig jam. It's yummy. I love rosemary crackers. Those are fun to have on there. But then also like some vegetables on there. What else? Some veggies. It just depends. Sometimes I think it's fun to just go online, like on social media, and see what other people have done and like zhuzh it up. But those are yummy. It kind of just depends what you're making it for. Like, I mean, like for myself, you know what's good too? What is it? Like the dill Havarti. That's always a yummy one. Yeah, something with a little flavor, which isn't very purist.
You make your own charcuterie boards?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Yeah. A charcuterie is not supposed to have like meat and things like that on it, and I don't tend to eat meat, so but I'll make them for other people. So
I was gonna say, girl, my charcuterie boards have some meat on them. So
yeah. No, I know all the fancy ways. I've seen all the TikToks how you can like make it all pretty. Do your little rose flowers, that kind of thing on the charcuterie board. But I don't tend to eat that stuff.
So mostly because I'm curious. So we've got the soft cheese with the jam, and then what kind of meats would you make with it besides your rosemary crackers and stuff?
If you're gonna put a meat on there, there's one that I like that's like an uncured apple smoked. It's kind of like a salami. I forget exactly what it is. They have it at Trader Joe's. That's typically. It's not a prosciutto.
Okay.
No. But Kimberly likes prosciutto with fig jam.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah.
What kind of vegetables did you say?
What vegetables? I'm thinking about boards that I've made because I'll do just like a straight up veggie platter too. But what veggies do I have on there? Like cucumber. But like on like a veggie platter, I usually do like the pretty carrots, like the ones that you look like they pluck from the ground and cut them in half. I like it when they look like they're out of the garden. As opposed to like, you know how you get the store-bought stuff and it's like, here's your baby carrot. No thanks. I'm like, I'm not in elementary school. I don't want a baby carrot. I want a real carrot.
I do like the carrots that have little ends on them. I think they're super cute.
Yes, totally, Kimberly. Candied pecans are awesome. You do like raw, what is it? Like almonds, and you get little almond, what is that one? Like, frosty beverages to go with. All that kind of good stuff. And it's fun too, because you can buy your candied pecans, but they're so easy to make as well. It's like, judge them up with like maple syrup and your seasoning and maybe a different type of a fun beverage, and then toast them in the oven. So good. So good. And then, put them on a yummy salad. Yum.
That is true. Yum.
Some more protein.
Well, I would love to come and see some of your charcuterie boards because I like to make them. I'm not great at it, but I really like to make them because I also really just kind of like the simplicity of it. Thing is, I like to make my own because I like to make them gluten-free so that I can eat them. But charcuterie boards are actually really easy to make gluten-free. So,
oh, nice. Yeah, you always have to make sure you have enough crackers. It's I've seen that be like a downfall for some folks. It's like, oh, there's all this yummy stuff, but I like, what am I going to put it on?
But I need some crackers. That's right.
Mm-hmm. You're like, it doesn't go so well with this cookie. Like, no.
Well, my cucumbers aren't looking the best, but we're gonna
figure out how to add cucumbers. But I do love I love those carrots, especially the ones that come in all different colors. Those are just so fun.
Yes.
They're so pretty.
That's what I think I enjoy most about cooking or just even playing in the kitchen, because I do love to do that. It's definitely like
I'm gonna leave them. They look like kiwis, but we're gonna call them kiwis.
Yeah, no, they're cute.
Well, they look like kiwis. It's okay.
You know what? On the board, you could do a fruit board. I've done that with like kiwi, pineapple, and then you use like over it. Yum.
You got an everything board, Mandi.
I do.
And you went for the down view of the board. You're brave. I went for the side view.
Well, that was probably smarter. Sometimes I do this and I'm like, I regret the decision that's been made, but it has been made, so we're going to go with it.
It's committed to.
That's right. All right, so those are pecans, in case you were curious.
Yeah, I was kind of proud of my pecans. I got the little, I was like, the pecans are easier if I'm remembering the right nut. I couldn't even I was trying to think, I'm like, is this the right nut? I'm like, well, I'm going to go for it. So I'll call it a pecan.
Oh, yours looks so good. And you've got the honey next to it. See, I just drizzled the honey over mine, but that was a great idea.
Thank you. I mostly wanted to draw the honey wand. And then I started drawing and I was like, in my mind, it looked really good. Then I was like, I got committed to it, and I was like, and it needs to look good.
I like that. I like it when they have like the cute little miniatures. So I'll put those on there, like the miniature jam, the miniature honey. So cute.
Yes.
All right. And my charcuterie board is just going to be white. It's fine. Bleached wood. It's bleached wood.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Everything's great.
Fine. Good.
Well, then I would have to fill in my crackers because I didn't fill them in. And so we're just going to leave it. It's going to be fine.
The cheese I'm drawing looks like ice cubes. It's not pretty.
I think we might need shirts for that, like Doodle and Chat. It's fine. It's fine. Everything I draw is fine, because that really is. I think like when the more people you talk to when they draw, I think everybody has that mantra going in their head. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody can tell what it is. Nobody's judging it. It's fine. It's fine.
I got a hot mess of cheese.
Nice.
Oh goodness.
Cheese board from a pool party.
That's been in the sun.
Yes. Yeah, it's nasty.
Oi.
All right. Well, especially since Amy's in mid-draw, I think it's time to draw another question.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Do it.
Wow, the bowl is seriously like all Amy all the time tonight.
Ooh.
And family too. Why would Drew in London say Aunt Amy is the best?
They would.
Good. I agree with you. I'm not even them, and I'd say you're the best. Now they live like seriously close to you, right? Like not like walking distance.
No, not anymore. They used to. Yeah, at one point. Yeah, we're all still very, very close, but yeah. And they were actually here earlier today, but they're at a baseball game now. I think it's like all the things, you know what I mean? It's like we've got the tech stuff at the house. We've got the like this. We've got Doodle and Chat, right? All the drawing, all the art supplies. You know, they've been playing with Chromebooks and that kind of thing, but for like educational, like I would purchase. I mean, I don't teach elementary school, but I would get, you know, all the just like the little tech thingamajigs that were coming out. And regardless if I knew exactly what they would for, they have them. And so it's like, here, figure it out, go, play, do something. But then at the same time, it's like we will put on, you know, a clip from a musical and bust out some instruments and bust out some microphones and sing them. And they're also up for just like doing a game. Like they're really into games. They love games. So we do that as well. And then reading, my gosh, they like reading, which is, you know, like that's not something I like to do when I was younger. I'm like, that's weird. It's still not my favorite thing to do. But to read with them, right, that's like a whole nother thing, because then you get to do the voices and have some fun. Although the older two are not so much. My younger nephews, I can still read with them and have some fun with that. The older two, not so much. Yeah, so we do all that stuff. Reading, playing. Oh, painting. They do painting. We do painting. We do gardening. Like, again, like all the things. I think it's fun to, you know, what is it? Like a Jack or a Jill of all trades. You know, be able to do all this stuff.
So much fun. No wonder they say Aunt Amy's the best. So much fun. Like I'm sitting here, like as I'm drawing some of this stuff, I'm like, I want to go to Aunt Amy's house.
Oh, and they cook with me too. Like they're great sous chefs. Hi, Lindsay.
Lindsay's here. Hello, Lindsay.
Yeah, they're great. Like as they get older, they want to do it a little less. And London is definitely like not as much into it. And my nephew Ben is not so much into it, but they will. Like if I set up stations for like cookie decorating or like, cakes. And honestly, I hate baking. I don't like baking at all. It's like my least favorite thing to do in the kitchen. But because of them, I will. I'm like, that's one sacrifice I'm willing to make. But it's kind of fun too because one of Holly's youngest, River, he's very much like his palette like is so wide because I think from being a little in the kitchen and all that kind of good stuff, you know. So there's that. Hi, Kristen. Yeah.
It's like a Doodle and Chat full house here tonight.
Woo, woo. That's how we roll.
It is how we roll. That is very true.
I'm so happy there are people here and so many like things to like play with. I love doodling food. I do love doodling food. Food is fun.
Food is fun.
Yeah.
Also delicious to eat.
Yes.
Yes. I'm like, I could even just play with utensils.
I also enjoy it as well.
I was gonna say I bought myself like some expensive knives, just two, because they're so expensive. But like, oh my gosh, I totally like chopped off part of my thumb for the first part. Like when I was
remember that night.
Oh my gosh, that was so awful. But it's fine, and I have feeling, but but that was pretty wild. But now I don't. It's just fun. I love
it. Wild. It was a wild night.
Yeah.
I love how you said that. It's pretty wild. Yeah.
I survived.
You did survive.
All right. I don't know if I got it all, but boy, I sure was trying.
So, Amy, how many nieces and nephews are there total then?
I have 4.
That's so fun.
Yeah. So Drew, London, River, and then Ben. And they all go to the same school together.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
They all go to the same school that my sisters and I went to. Again, we keep it close. We're a tight-knit family.
Well, and that would make sense why the bowl has seemed to stick with that topic. See, it just knows. It freaks me out all the time.
Oh no, you run out of doodle paper, Lindsay? Oh my goodness. Just grab an old book. That's some of my doodles actually have it right here. Like, you know, I've ever played with like an artist book or created an artist book before, right? And so actually, is my doodle in here from the other day? I think I did. When you guys had Jed on here, London and I were doodling. I'll have to find it. But we were oh, it's at the back. Yeah. See, so London and I were practicing and so we have and so it's just in a book. I don't know. There we go. Kind of, sort of. There we go. We do it.
Perfect.
I haven't tweeted about it yet because I wasn't sure if I was done with it, but I think I'm done with it.
That's so fun.
That is fun. I love that.
Yeah, you just get like an X-Acto. You every 10 pages, you cut out a few pages, that kind of thing, and then you can do all sorts of stuff in it. Scrapbook, whatevs, write poetry, do a lot of like that, like blackout poetry, that kind of thing.
Fun.
Totally fun. Yes, an old book. It's totally, it's awesome. I love it. I taught 3D art one year, so that was part of it. The students like had a book, and it was so like this one, like it was 10 cents.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, and what's great about it too, so like to not, add waste or whatever, the pages that you X-Acto out, hang on to them, especially our teacher friends, because then you'll use those as like your scraps, and that will be the basis for your blackout poetry or even just practicing and that kind of thing. So you can use that, store it for later. So you have your artist book to play in and do whatever, and then you have extra pages to play with. So I would do that when I was teaching English. I would save the pages for English.
That's a great idea. I love that idea.
I also love that idea.
No, I'm trying to like remember everything. Stick in my brain. Okay, now my brain's gone another place. On to making other creative things with books.
Yay!
All right, let's see what else the bowl has for us. All right, here we go. What wastes the most time in your day-to-day life?
You mean like I waste my time, but so me.
And done.
Instead of a mic drop, we got a pen drop. Yeah, totally. The reverse process. Yeah. You know what, Kimberly, I love that too. And even I did with one of my junior classes, I would do like that whole, it's something I learned in creative writing back in the day. I don't know where it comes from, but like the sunny me, dark me, whatever that was, like, or shadow me, sunny me, shadow me. I think it's shadow. I don't know, shadow, dark. What are those? Right. And so picking like a topic or whatever that brings them joy, and a topic maybe that they're struggling with, challenging them, whatever. And then looking at the page and just circling those words that, you know, pop off the page to them, and then blocking out the rest. And like, how can you connect them? Can you connect them, or just draw an image around it? But that was something really neat to see, like their sunny shadow me, you know. And less pressure too, right? Especially when we're trying to differentiate and students are struggling with coming up with the words. We have the words, right? Now you just get to pick.
I love that idea. So what is reverse blackout? Is that what she's saying? Oh, a wonderful journey. Oh, never mind. So Kimberly's just talking about blackout poetry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff, and I know you guys know this, but on like what is like the Austin Kleon stuff. I'm pointing because I have his books up there. But yeah,
he loves blackout poetry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Plus,
using newspaper.
Just even the coloring of the black is kind of like cathartic, right? Like it's just like I'm just gonna color. After
Totally.
Yeah.
And I noticed the one that you did in your book, it wasn't black, right? Wasn't it like a different color?
Yeah, well, I have all sorts of different ones. I can't share that one. Just as the words like, yeah, no, this one I did like yellow. I think I highlighted or something like, I think I did. I used highlight here and then painted it. Yeah, I just painted. There's stickers in here, things like that. And again, you can use like 3D elements, so like decoupage, a little scrap, like I did this like little owl thingamajig, but then there's like just like
oh, I like that.
Draw art. I only did half of it, and what it says on the page, it says this was uncalled for. So like a little broken heart with an owl. I don't know what it means. It's just what I was feeling. And then apparently the other side of the page is all the feels, because it's just like that.
All right. I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Good times.
So anything besides yourself that wastes the most time in your day-to-day life?
That wastes the most time? I'm like, and I will own it. I waste my time.
That's cool.
Like I'll procrastinate. Like I need to, oh my gosh. I was just talking actually about this with one of my former students. And I was like, oh yeah, I really, because he lives in the UK. And I was like, oh, I really want to go visit and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I still need to update my passport. Like it's expired. And I'm like, oh, I need to do that. But then I'm just like, watch Netflix, TV, something, anything, right? I was really excited that I'm just going to say that. Yes, Lindsay, like magnet poetry. Absolutely. And creativity of constraint. Yeah. Love it.
I'm so happy that you got the journal out and started talking about art, because I forget. I mean, I know that, duh. I mean, we're here to talk about you, but I forget that art is besides the theater, that art is such a huge part of your background, and it's so fun to listen to you talk about it. It's more than just like the English classes that you teach and things like that. There's a whole other level. There's a whole other layer to you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a fake English teacher. I'll be honest with you. I totally have imposter syndrome with that. I was in all college prep. Like, I was not my thing. To write creatively, anything creatively, I love to do. I love to think outside the box or whatever it is and problem solve. I love all of that. But again, to sit down and read a book, no, thank you. Nope, not my fave. So, I mean, even for me, it's like I have to, and I share this with my students too, I have to like physically have the book. I have to listen to the book, because otherwise, squirrel, like I can't focus. So for me, I have to have those. I mean, speaking of constraints, like I have to be locked down to it.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather pick up a pen and draw before I read. I know Mandi is an avid reader. I am not an avid reader. Like, I have a goal this summer, a book a month, but I'm going to have to set aside time, like every morning. You know, it's like, you know, anything, right? It's not. I love the books. I know there's amazing books out there. Authors are doing incredible things with words and stories, but it's just like, it's not my most preferred thing to do. Agreed.
Yeah. I like poetry books sometimes. I can get into that. I love who's it? Let me carry on. I'm like out of frame for a hot sec. What is this? The boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. Because this incorporates both. Do you know what I mean? Because it has the words, but it has his like art or his ideas as art, right? And they're actually, I think they're making like a movie thing, like a cartoon out of it or whatever.
I know, when I see things like that, I'm like, I know I should love reading more. I mean, like I said, authors are doing incredible things. And every time you pick up a book, you're like, oh my gosh, reading is awesome. And then people read all the time. You're like, well, duh, you know, where have you been?
Well, and I'm laughing so hard because you both are authors.
I know.
That is the funny part. You both have books.
But I do like to read them. So
yeah, Mandi really does like to read a lot. So whenever there's a book topic on Doodle and Chat, I'm go, that's interesting. Yes, Mandi, go on.
Tell me more.
You're fascinating, Mandi. Share more.
Share more.
Now
I have some books to read. I have some books to read this summer too. So I have a list, but I have to mix mine because I really do like to read novels over other things. Now, I love to learn and I love to learn new things, but I don't love to learn things from reading. I like to read for enjoyment. And so that's where I have to push myself a little bit. So
yeah,
to read the nonfiction, the books that will help me be better.
Gotcha.
But I do like to read for enjoyment. My problem is I read quickly, which isn't always a good thing because I do chunk information together because I have to get to the end of a book fast because I have to know how it ends.
Oh.
So to me, a book is like a movie, except that it just goes a little bit slower. And so I will just plow through a book because I've got to see how this ends. Got to see what's going on.
Wow. Hi, Kim. Oh my gosh. Hi. So glad you made it. Novels are faster. Read for me. Yeah. You know, it's funny. Like when it comes to books, like I like it has to be a topic I enjoy as far as like, if we're going like the educational route, because I like having the pen in hand. I like having all these thingamajig. I like doing the doodling and the margins. I've gotten better at it. For a while, it's difficult. Like you get the different doodle books and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to use it because what if I mess it up? I don't want to do that. Like, so I'm like, should I make copies? And like, no, just write in your book, girl. Like, but so I'm getting better-ish at that. But I do. That's the type of reading that I enjoy. And then I love, because of performance, I think I love listening to certain audiobooks, right? When they're done well, then yes, I will eat it up. Otherwise, no.
Or when you're reading or you're listening to an audiobook, because I also enjoy listening to audiobooks, and you have like a series and they switch readers in the middle of the series and it's not as good. And so that happened to a series of mine. I was reading or I was listening to it, and the person reading the book was amazing, like absolutely amazing. Just like it just brought you into the book. She did such a good job with it. And then the fourth book in the series, something happened and they got somebody else to read it, and the narrator was just not as good. And I really struggled. Not that she was terrible, because she wasn't. It just, she wasn't as good as the first one. And so it made me a little bit sad. I ended up actually buying the book and reading it myself because I just couldn't do it.
Forget that noise.
I did. I was like, listen. But I also listened to them on 1.5 speed because I read quickly and listening is slower than reading for me. And so I don't like it. So I will speed it up anyway. So everything
baseline is 1.5 podcast, but everything 1.5. I know sometimes I'd be really bad in my classroom, right? Like I'd want to like, okay, can we be done? And so I'm like, oh, boop, and I'll just push it up just to 1 and then another 1. And then, you know, it's going really, really quickly. I'm like, oh, it's wild. How did that? Just mess around. Want to get to the end of the story. But then sometimes they'll call me out and I have to slow it down. So, all right. Yep. Not getting everything. Okay. Womp womp.
So, Carla, you said just read the end first. I am actually very adamant about not doing that. Like, I will not read the end of the book, even though I know if I did, I could slow down and enjoy the book, but I will not read the end of the book. I am one of those people. I refuse to do it.
I am in that court too when I do read.
I will look and peek. I have no problem with that. Is it worth my time? Maybe.
That's too funny. There have been some series where I got to the end and I'm like, now I'm mad. Gonna need to talk to this author. We need to make this happen differently. My husband's always like, it's their book. They get to do with it. I'm like, no, they don't. I'm telling you, it should have gone a different way.
Do you consider?
I'm not okay with this. So Carla has to know the end to know if it's worth her time. So Carla, you'll read the end of a book, and then if it's bad, you'll just never read the rest, not knowing if the rest could be really good. And Amy, you too? Will you read the end, and if it's bad, you just won't read the book?
Well, I mean, there's a fair shot that I'm not going to read the book anyway. So I might as well just read the last few pages and see what's happening.
So you're at a social thing and they're talking about, oh yeah, I remember that book, which you know how it ended, right? So like,
yeah, totally. Let me tell you how this ends. Don't ask me anything else. Let me tell you how this ends.
I can't believe it ended that way. Can you?
Surprise!
Like, I really like this character, and you're like, I don't know who that is, but they must have been gone by the time the end of the book got there.
Obviously not that memorable. Yes, fan fiction. There you go, new career.
That's what I should do. Absolutely. You know, I really do enjoy reading fan fiction sometimes with alternate endings to books, because sometimes I read them and I'm like, that's right. That's how it was supposed to be.
I have my oldest child, T, loves fan fiction, and sometimes they'll tell me about things. I'm like, whoa, that's some fan fiction going on there. The world, the universe, multiverses are really out there when it comes to some of that fiction. But it's fun that it lives out there in that space, and it's just different. And so every time they read like a novel in school, let me tell you about the fan fiction for this book, Mom.
That's awesome. Well, then, hello, there's some sticky learning for you.
Yeah, I think they like the potential of steamy parts in some of the books because it's just the age that they're at.
Right.
All the ships, that could happen. I think I'm going to stop there with that line of sharing. Maybe another question.
Oh, okay.
Pick on Amy.
Sure.
Right?
I am here for you. What you got?
Ooh.
Play with new
What is the scariest movie you've seen?
I don't like scary movies. What's scary? I mean, like to actually watch it from beginning to end, it doesn't really happen because like what I'll do is like I'll watch something and I legit do this. Like I'll do this, or I'll close my eyes even sometimes, or I'll play it without the sound. Sometimes I still do this, even though the sound is not going. But yeah, I don't like that. Like, it's funny. Like I listened to NPR's Pop Culture Happy Hour, and like they're like, "Oh, spoilers ahead! Don't listen." I'm like, "Give it to me. Give me the spoiler because I don't want to be scared." I don't like any of that kind of stuff. But I am looking forward. Hello, this is what I was getting at earlier. Carrie was like, because this is the 11th episode and Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
And on Friday, I know I'm wearing my Hawkins shirt. I already have my thinking cap. So, but all my fun Stranger Things stuff is at work for the most part.
Okay, but wait a second. Like, I think Stranger Things is scary. Like
it is, right? Like it totally can be. But again, I'll just like the sound will go off and I'll go like that and it'll be okay. And then I'll go back and watch it again. Because then I know what's going to happen because it's so cheap. And hello, I learned this by teaching middle schoolers because one of like their standards is like dealing with like media and you're dealing with like horror and like the jump scare, right? Like and that's a cheap thrill. It's a cheap scare. So those jump, yeah, they don't like it. You know what I loved as a kid? Did you guys watch? It was on Disney. And I know they made a terrible, well, okay, debatable, but they did make a remake. What is the Watcher in the Woods?
Oh yeah, I would. I don't like. I don't think I watched that because it's a remake. I'm kind of like a
no, but the original with Betty Davis.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Oh, and it has oh my gosh, Kyle Richards is in it. It's so good, and like we watched it, and bye Georgina, enjoy dinner. We watched it in like 6th grade, and I remember like it had a couple jump scares here and there, which was like but I enjoyed kind of sharing all that good stuff with like my middle schoolers as going through. Although some of them also found it very scary, but it's like totally G-ish.
Back in the day, it was.
Right? Like that's the thing. Oh my goodness. But it's really harmful, but they do really go for the jump scares.
Yeah, the jump scares are the worst. That's when the blanket's like this on me, and I'm like just sitting there watching.
Yeah, I don't like
through your fingers.
Through your
because
fingers.
There's something about filtering it through your fingers. So even though you're watching it, but through your fingers, you're like, it's okay. And then I can just narrow my fingers together closer, and then I can see less of it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Or my kids are not horror or scary movie fans. I love horror movies. I love like the awful B horror movies. I love zombies and all that stuff. I love it all. Blood, guts, gore, give it to me. But my kids do not love it. If I finally get them to watch something, it's like only during the day, Mom. Never at night.
Well, I got so in trouble when I was in trouble, maybe not, but like I was after watching Poltergeist, right, as a kid and stuff, and then I would have to have the like a nightlight, but not only a nightlight, like I'd have to have the bathroom light on with all the doors open so I could see, because I'd get so scared, because I was like scared of like shadows. My dad was like, "You're never watching another scary movie again," and that kind of thing. But like growing up, I mean, I was scared of Santa Claus. I was scared of the Easter Bunny. I was scared of all these fictitious beings because of like the story behind all that, right? Like Santa knows when you're awake, and it just felt like he's watching me, and like creepy. So yeah, that stuff's freaky. It is.
So I think, and I don't watch a lot of horror movies, but I mean, there have been some, but I love to read Stephen King novels.
Oh, me too. I do enjoy his books a lot.
And so when I was younger and we would go to the theater, so we saw Pet Sematary in the theater, which didn't scare me as much as weirded me out, like because I had read the book, and so part of the scenes in the movie, and I was like, I think in my mind that was less terrifying than it is on the screen right now. But the original It, and I try to tell kids this because they've seen the remake of it, I still will not walk over a grate anywhere. I won't do it. I will walk around because
I think I watched some of that first one. I will never watch that movie ever again.
Yeah.
Never.
It terrified me.
Agreed. That whole and I remember like collecting cute little clown figurines as a child, and I loved them, but for whatever reason, that give me that scary clown. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. I will not watch that movie. I love scary movies. That is one I will not watch.
No. The only one you like, Kimberly, is The Green Mile. What about Stand By Me? Right, based on the body. I like Stand By Me.
I do too. That's a good one.
I like Rob Reiner.
It's fun to watch them when they're all babies.
Yes.
It ruined clowns for some reason. Clowns have always been creepy. Sorry.
But a clown that hides in the storm grate, like seriously, yeah, listen, that is just not okay. That is not okay. Not okay. We live near Kansas City, and in the plaza, like on their walkways, there are these huge grates for the rainwater to go into. And we'll be there, and I'm like walking around him. My husband's, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Not walking over that grate." Not doing it.
No.
That clown could be down there.
Creepy clowns. Bye, Valerie. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Bye, Valerie.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to pull another question. Here
Okay.
we go.
Enough of the scary. Dun, dun, dun. I'll have to redo this.
What is the best pair of shoes you have owned?
The best pair of shoes?
I'm going to fit this one. The poll is random and yet family oriented today. And I'm out of space. Come on, paper, give me space.
So I think she's frozen, but I was like, wow, she is really contemplating this question hard. But I do think she's frozen.
I think she's frozen too. It'll give me time to cut my question so I can fit it on here.
Now the suspense is getting to me. I'm like,
I know, me too.
Are they like ruby slippers? Are they your favorite pair of tennis shoe?
Oh yeah, maybe let's predict Amy's answer while she unfreezes. Are they ruby slippers? Could they have been from a show?
Oh no, we lost her.
Let's see, ruby slippers, gym shoes. She seems like a gym shoe person.
She does seem like a gym shoe person, or maybe some kind of funky like sandal.
Maybe. I don't see Amy as a sandal person. Maybe her hiking boots. I know she likes to hike too. Come back, Amy. Well, worst comes to worst, we can also just wrap this party up. We'll give Amy a minute. And then, yes, Kimberly, we threw Amy for such a loop that she decided just to leave Doodle and Chat. She's done. we lost our first guest ever over a shoe question.
She's like, listen, the shoe's too much.
Yeah, the shoe's just too much. Oh, tell us ours. So my current favorite are Vans. I can't get enough of them. And if I could buy every color Van to go with every outfit, I would love that so much. Those would be my favorite. I do like Birkenstocks too, a lot.
So I like Merrell shoe, like the brand Merrell shoes, but for walking, for some reason, the only shoes I can walk in is a certain, style of Brooks shoes. So sadly they're expensive, but the Brooks shoes, but my favorite shoe story. So like I said, I'm a little bit older, been around a little while. We took a group of kids to Europe and went to London to the original Doc Marten store. And I bought a pair of Doc Martens from the original Doc Marten store. They are Mary Jane's. And Doc Martens are incredibly heavy. Yes. I don't know why people at the time were like, let's wear these shoes that weigh 15 pounds. Like, I don't know. We had great calves, I'm pretty sure, wearing them. But I still have the shoes because they're kind of like a souvenir, even though I can't wear them because they're incredibly heavy.
They really are heavy. I remember loving I love Doc Martens too, but you're right. They are really heavy shoes.
Yep. But I love that I bought them in London at the original store. So
that is so awesome. All right, friends. I think we're going to wrap up Doodle and Chat for today. Super fun. We will make sure we say goodbye to Amy for everybody. Be sure to come back to the channel and join us. Mandi and I are working on some new things for Doodle and Chat, like after chats with our guests, where we just chat with them about some of the questions from the bowl that we didn't talk about during that episode. And we're super excited about that. And then even more exciting is that Mandi and I, starting in June, are going weekly with Doodle and Chat. And so it's going to be every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we're going to doodle and chat, sometimes with our friends, sometimes about stuff. We have all kinds of fun drawing activities and drawing chats and crazy stuff planned. But we can't be more excited that Doodle and Chat is now going to be weekly starting in June, the first Wednesday in June. I can't remember what day of the week that is, or it's Wednesday. That's the day of the week, the month. Is it the first? I think it is. No, second. I think it's June 2nd. Anyways, the first Wednesday in June, I think it is June 2nd. We will be going weekly. And we're super excited about that. Watch Twitter for all the details about things. We'll send out reminders, and then make sure you like and subscribe to Doodle or to my YouTube channel so that you always get reminders.
It is the first.
Oh, it's the first. Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you, Mandi. All right, my friends, thank you so much for being here with us. If you were here and you drew with us, make sure you share out on Twitter using hashtag Doodle and Chat so we can show Amy and everybody else all the fun that we have here every Wednesday night on Doodle and Chat with Friends. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.